You got people like Andrew Tate that's just completely bashing women, especially on Twitter. Recently, he made a post talking about he had a date with a woman and he cancelled it just because he had a change of plans and he'd rather play with his dog. Now, to me, that subconsciously tells you and the audience, especially talking about kids here, tells you that he values a dog more than a woman. Like, there's no really other way about it. That's literally how it sees it. Even if you don't register it, it's like literally he cancelled a date because he'd rather go with a dog. I mean, there's no way about it. Same as Hamza. He recently made a Twitter post about how if you live with a woman, it completely ruins you as a man. Pretty much what he was saying. It ruins you and just yeah, that's pretty much what he was saying. I mean, that doesn't make no sense. What he was doing was just completely stupid, in my opinion. He completely went outside of society with no human interaction, which is what we crave. He went completely outside with his girlfriend at the time into Scotland, so he was just dumped to it alone. Now, that just doesn't make logical sense at all, no matter how you look at it. I mean, if you had a family, maybe you could do that, yeah, that's fine. You got siblings, ideally a bigger family, so you got cousins, you got uncles. Then you can go and far out from society and just chill there. At least that's more than enough to socialize. But to go there completely by yourself like a caveman with you and your whatever is supposed to be future wife just doesn't make sense. So you can't really blame the woman. Don't get me wrong, stuff like feminism, it's completely went the opposite path. It's done more harm than good. But I'm just talking about how Hamza and just these guys overall, how they bash and just focus on the downside of every single woman. I mean, there's loads that just go club scene, the party scene, which obviously I agree with. That's not really someone you want to be with long term. But they're completely forgetting that when you find a woman, it's literally there's nothing literally better than that. I mean, you find a partner, you have kids with them, and you start a family. Now, the purpose of that is you teach the woman what you know, what you should be knowing more anyways. You're the provider, you make the money, you do whatever. And then she learns, teaches the kid. So you both literally got a full-time job. It's not like one does more than the other. One's providing, making the money, and the other one's teaching the kids everything. I'm not talking. Some people class mothers as those that just feed the kids and just look after them. To me, that's more of a guardian. A mother is someone that actually like feeds them, looks after them, and teaches them, which is the main important. So whatever she learned from the husband and what she learned from her generations of fathers, she'll pass down all the key important things to the kids. Now, that's what a woman is to me. I mean, that's what a mother is to me. Other than that, if you're not really doing that, you're just more of a guardian. Doesn't matter if you gave birth to her. But that's just my take. Now, when someone gets married, a couple gets married, you usually attract what you are. So you see, I mean, as of now, anyways, the relationship marriages is going downhill. Those divorces, but you attract what you are. So if you attract someone that's lazy, you're likely lazy. If you attract someone that's stupid, and you're probably the same. At the time, anyways, at least divorces, the marriage is usually good at the start. You're both in the same frequency, in the same wavelength, so you're both perfect for each other. But usually down the hill, the marriages go down. That's usually because one person wants to improve or change. That could be for the better or the worse, and the other one doesn't. So, for example, if you were the husband married a woman, a wife, the husband wants to change, wants to grow, or whatever the reason is, but the woman doesn't want to do that. She wants to stay the same. Now you've changed frequencies and wavelengths. So now there's conflict, opposite between each other. You're not really in harmony anymore. You're not in the same wavelength and frequency. So that causes disturbance, and then that also causes conflict between you two. So for me, to find a woman, you gotta find one that's respectful, loyal, and willing to grow, willing to change. That's the most important part. Either way, if they were just they gotta pretty much be open to everything. I mean, they don't want to be like a slave, like a little dog that just listens and take everything. Because you need at least the partner as second person to give you a truthful opinion, rather than I don't know, stroking your ego constantly, telling you you're the best, telling you this. That doesn't work. That's only gonna do long term damage. You want someone that humbles you, that grounds you, tells you the truth. So if you're treating someone like shit, she'll tell you straight up you're treating someone like shit, rather than saying, "Oh, you deserve it. You done this, you done that." There's gotta be a balance between the two, at least in my eyes. Yeah, now going back to the original point when I mentioned the kids, to teach your kids. Now the first 7 years of a kid is important since the subconscious mind isn't developed. So everything they learn, they see, they're taken completely straight into the deep of their mind, proper in the core, pretty much. So as soon as they start to develop past seven, their subconscious mind starts to develop, and they create a barrier, a gateway. Pretty much everything. It's like a filterization system. So everything they learn gets filtered through that. So obviously, if the first 7 years weren't good, then you can assume most of their life isn't going to be good. So imagine there's two situations. Let's just say there's a kid, a person, whatever, that's been indoors their whole life. They believe the sky is red, even though we know it's blue. But whatever, just go with it. They believe the sky is red. That's what they're taught since a kid. I don't know, the outside world is bad or whatever. The sky's red, for example, and then someone comes to them and tells them the sky's blue. Now there's going to be a conflict there, even if the person provides them proof, solid proof. The person most likely would not agree with it. And that's the reason why people live in delusion, cognitive dissonance gets triggered, and all sorts of stuff. Now they get so attached to the belief of what they learned. So it's embedded deep inside them. They get attached to the belief, they get attached to their ego. So when you're attacking the belief, you're attacking them. You're attacking identity. That's pretty much what cognitive dissonance is. So that's why loads of people don't really want to change, don't really want to improve. They rather stick to their own way. So with that in mind, for you to change, you have to kill your ego. You have to kill it completely. And after that, you can become reborn. Now, this time, you're conscious, you're aware, you know what your goal is, and you know where you want to go. So this time, you would create your mind, you tailor your mind to help you get to that goal. So you destroy the ego, and then you build it back better. You build it back the way you wanted it, the way you want it now, actually, rather than having it built the same way it was since a kid, which you didn't really choose. So that's probably not in alignment with your goal. That probably defeats and makes you repel towards your goal, which does more harm. Which, yeah, the mind's pretty much 90% of the reason you do things, how fast you achieve your goal, and how you get there. The mind is literally underrated. It's lots of people look for a business plan, they look for a solution. I mean, that helps obviously, but if you ain't got your mind right, then nothing works. No matter what you do, you just subconsciously and unconsciously sabotage yourself. You slow down the delay, or if you see like money as evil, for example, which I guess loads of religious people do. Now, if you see that as evil, now subconsciously you're telling yourself for you to have money, you have to be evil because rich people are evil. So, of course, it links, it intertwines with each other. So, for you to be rich, you have to be evil. Now, if you have a belief like that, loads of people are told that since a kid. There's like verses around that, something to do with the camel, whatever. Anyway, that's not really relevant. But pretty much, if you believe that, then what are the chances of you becoming rich, anyways? Chances of you becoming rich is slim to none. Unless you see yourself as evil, then okay, you could possibly be rich. So this went completely sidetracked, but it still makes a point. When I'm talking about the women would know that. If she doesn't know that, I mean, I don't expect her to know that. The guy should teach her that stuff like that, so she can implement into the kids what you work provide. Obviously, you'll still be there to help. You'll be like the guy that's just checking. You're like, how would you put this? You're like just like the overview. You're checking out the over thing. I don't know how to explain this. Let me see. You'd be more sort of an observer since you're working on your stuff, your purpose. You'd be more of an observer, see how the kid's doing. Um, put your inputs here and there, put them back in track, and make sure everything's going right. That's how it should be. Now, that's in my opinion, but that's how it should be traditionally, anyways. Now, people right now are destroying the family figure, especially the father figure. I mean, you can't just generalize whole women. Like the saying goes, where focus goes, energy goes. So now you got these gurus, whatever you want to call it, influencers, completely bashing women, especially when it comes to kids. I'm talking about, they just take whatever as gospel. When it comes to kids, they take it in, and now that's what they see, so that's what they attract. Now, if you have a belief like that, the chance of you finding the right woman is slim to none. At the end of the day, you attract who you are. You have to be in the right wavelength, as I said before. So back to the original point, women is the best thing that's known to man, in my opinion. Not just the women itself. I'm talking about what you can do. You start a family, you build generations, you teach anything you taught, and you go from there. Now, I don't know anything that's more purposeful, more satisfying than doing that. You can make the money what you want, you can make billions, you can do whatever, but If you really haven't got someone to share it with, a blood to pass it down, that you can teach, you can grow, then I don't know what's the point, really. Is there a point? This is actually my second take. I literally recorded like a 10-minute video. I was on the flow. I don't think this is a better take than the first one, but this is what I could do anyways. The mic tied out midway, a minute into the 10-minute video. And this is a different style of video. I thought I'd try it when I'm walking. I can freestyle it better. Thoughts come quicker and better, so I might stick to this content. And plus, as a bonus, I can walk in the park and get some exercise in. Just a little walk. Yeah, don't forget to like the video and let me know what you think also in the comments. And I'm guessing the mic quality is decent. I mean, it's probably bad at some parts. So just let me know with that as well. I can always just get a better mic. I just got this mic today and I'll just try it out. With all that said, I'm not saying to focus on women. That should never have been the goal in the first place. Focus on your purpose, your vision, and the women will come along the ways. You attract who you are, like I said. So obviously, you want to find your purpose. You want to improve as a guy, and just evolve in every aspect. So you just pretty much do your thing. You focus on your goal, and the women will come. They'll be more attracted to you. At least the ones that you're looking for, since you'll be in that wavelength. Now, if you find a woman when you're walking or whatever, you can speak to them. Obviously, start a conversation and go from there. But don't make it your focus. If you just find one along the ways, yeah, whatever, go for it. But to make it your focus, it's completely stupid. Doesn't make any sense. I feel like the second take, I missed a few points and I didn't really express it the way I did the first part. But this will do, I guess. That's what I can do for now. I've got a few videos I've made in the channel, which I think is unique, and I actually get like another 5 to 10. But I can't really make those videos since no one really searches them up. You can only really make them once you actually establish yourself in the market. So I guess I just gotta make similar titles at least, so I can get the impressions, get the clicks, and just what people are searching. So check those out if you want to see what I mean. Especially the bodybuilding one. That's a bit controversial, but it is what it is. Not bashing on it, but you'll see the video and you see what I mean. To me, I prefer to follow nature and just stick to what has worked in the past. I don't really prefer to do what we're doing now, which hasn't been working. So, as a summary, finding the right partner that's in the same wavelength as you, you're both in harmony, eventually 10x your growth. I'm not even joking. You might think, okay, you got a partner that will 2x it. Now, at the minimum, I'll say at least 4 or 5x it. Because you're both working, like, you're both, I don't know how to explain it. It's like the yin and yang. You're both doing what your role is there to do. The man will provide, the woman look after the kids, do all the nurturing. So you can free up your time, provide, and just, yeah, it's double-sided. It's not one-sided as people make it, and then make it as if one side is doing more than the other. You both got your own roles. You're both designed to do things, other things better than some things. So just stick to that. It makes no sense why. Yeah, yeah, like masculine and feminine tracks. I mean, now it's completely reversed. The women are becoming more masculine than men, and the men are becoming more feminine than women. So trying new things, what we've been doing, trying new things, testing out new things, just hasn't worked. It's completely stupid. Every time we've tried it, it's just decreased society as a whole and humanity as a whole. So sticking to what has worked in the past. Obviously, you tailor a few things here and there, which makes sense. But sticking to what we've been doing is when society and humanity was at its peak. And I think we should just go back to it. Now with the wavelength things, now I know loads of people in the young age they prefer to just do the degenerate stuff pretty much, and just go clubbing and all that stuff. I mean that's fine. I don't see the point of it, so I don't really want to do that. But yeah, that's up to you. Some people go through that season, that stage of their life, so they can do whatever they want. So it's not to say if you want to clubbing, you can't attract the right woman. You can obviously you can, but at the current time when you're clubbing, all that your frequency, your vibration is in the wrong place. So if you try to attract a woman, I doubt it. It still could be, but I doubt it would be. I mean, it would be hard at least to find the right one. So once you knock all that down, your frequency changes, your vibration, wavelength changes, and that way from there, everything becomes easy to attract. So it's not saying you're stuck at one identity, one frequency. As you evolve, do better, and you change and shift, and you attract like-minded people. I mean, this applies also not just to women, for guys. I'm talking about as a brotherhood. So once you build a brotherhood and a community, I think that's one of the best things also. You gotta have a group of friends a group of people that you can trust with your life, with your kids, with your family. Now, without that, again, I'm not sure how you're gonna live, even if you got the right woman. It's like just you and the woman. I mean, loads of people tried that, but to me, it sounds like you go insane. Assuming you don't have any kids, at least. So, yeah, I think socializing as a whole, as a group, having both. So you can't really, things you can't do with the female. The things you do with the men, you can't really do with the female. One's feminine, one's masculine. You gotta have both in your circle. Respectful people, loyal people, willing to change and grow. Pretty much willing to get rid of the ego. Ego's not the enemy though. At the start, it is for most people, anyways. You gotta destroy it. You gotta kill it. You gotta be reborn. But after that, you can tailor it to how you want it. So you take advantage of the ego. The ego is just keeping you alive and making you strive to do more. So you gotta kill it. Since that ego that you had at the start is not yours, it was given you since a kid, since birth, since you were a child. So you gotta kill it, redesign it, brand new from start. Start from zero and build it how you want it.